for this game session.
All right, guys. What's up?
He just gets to pick and choose which ones he wants to use.
No, they're in the order that they occur. So I have to do 30 things so I can get 2 crits down there at the very end.
That's your reward for doing 30 rolls. Just investigate literally everything.
Like
Until I get to 28, and then I'll just start waiting for combat.
Oh, look, I crit. What do you know?
Or better than I want to use diplomacy to convince people to turn on such and such person. Oh, look at crit.
Now I want to attack such and such person. You gotta do it in the right order. Convince everyone to join me, and then attempt to kill. That's how you do it.
I want to kill everybody. Oh, look, it's a crit.
Congratulations. You killed all of your party.
Yeah, but then Randy's the only one left alive. Which is fine.
Everybody. So he can even kill himself.
Yeah, but he's a god.
Gods can die.
He's not a body, he's a god.
Let's face it, I'd come back and take advantage of the fact that my party's dead to pretend that I never died.
Boop, 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 ba doo, boo doo, boop.
Oh, are we back up to full health?
I'm pretty sure you guys are resting at the inn.
Oh, right, that's what we were doing.
Alright, I remember what happened last time.
And all you really have to do is look at Roll20 and
Yeah, I'd be like,
see
oh, right, that's
basically
what happened.
last time.
That's what happened. I remember now.
Yo guys, should I get the tough feat and get 64 HP, or should I get the alert feat?
64 HP?
Yeah.
I thought it was double your health.
You get double your health and then 2 hit points per level.
Alright.
So then you should get more than 64, right?
It's double your level and then 2 per level.
Okay, double your level.
Yeah, double your level.
Wait, double your level would be 2 per level.
Yeah, I'm 16, so you get 32 just from taking the feat, and then you get an extra 2 per level, so it's 64.
Yeah. So why would they not say ×3?
Well, why would they not say ×4? Because that's what you're getting.
Or I get a +5 bonus to initiative.
I'm super. Like, I'm not trying to argue whether or not that's the amount of health. I'm just super confused about where is that? Where's the link to that feat? I just want to read it because it sounds like it's poorly written.
Huh. I went to the D&D wiki to try to find it, and it doesn't seem to be there anymore.
A lot of the
Oh, and that list is different.
on the SRD doesn't have the feats on it anymore, except for one example for some reason.
He's only Grappler.
Yeah.
He's the only one there.
I'm not sure exactly why that changed, but
Because he wants you to buy the books.
But it is a wiki, so you should be able to go back into the history and find it. I guess.
It was on the internet at some point. You can find it.
Yeah.
That's where I found a list of all the feats on that link I posted.
Well, were you asking about alert and what?
Did I take alert or tough?
Tough. That's why I haven't seen
Okay,
it yet.
so no, you would just get 32 HP.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your level when you gain the feat. Then whenever you gain a level after gaining the feat, your hit point increases by an additional 2 points.
Okay, so I get 34 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the maximum goes up, but not your actual hit points.
I don't know what you mean by that, Matt, but yes. Yes, the maximum goes up.
Wait, what?
Matt is talking about something else. I don't know. It's the HP maximum goes up, but yeah, it's your HP. Anyway, the point is it gives you twice your level when you gain the feat, and then it just gives you an additional 2 HP every time you level from here on. That way, like, no matter what level you get it at, you'll get the same amount of additional health by level 20. Does that make sense?
That sounded like a pop.
Okay, so you get twice
Yeah.
your level and then 2 per level.
You get twice your level and then 2 every time you level up from here on. So, like, regardless of whether or not you got the feat at level 4 or level 20
Yeah, it just keeps
or
going
18
up.
or whatever, you would
It
get
scales.
40 by level 20. So, like,
It's basically just making it retroactive.
Yeah, the twice your level thing is just making the feat retroactive. It's basically just giving you a bonus 2 HP per level, period. So what level are we? 16. So you would get 32 HP now, and then you'll get an extra 2 HP the next time you level, and they're on.
Okay.
Matt, did you get my message about Kyle?
I did. It's a shame.
Yeah, it made me laugh when I read it.
Alright, I'll just take alert for now.
You know what I really like about some feats? Like I
What?
like Blade Mastery because it says you master the short sword, long sword, scimitar, rapier, and greatsword, and you gain benefits when using them. The thing that's funny about it is it doesn't guarantee that you're proficient with them, and I don't see prerequisites on it. So even if you weren't proficient with a greatsword, you could be a master of it.
They don't give you proficiency.
No, it doesn't give you proficiency with the feat. It just says you master them as part of what is the descriptive text. So you just gain benefits while using them.
I'm pretty sure I just looked at the book and it says gain that weapons master gives you. Hold on. Are you talking about something else? Did I completely miss something?
Not weapon master, blade mastery.
Blade mastery. Okay.
Weapon master does give you proficiency. That is
Yeah,
specifically what that feat is for.
Yep. It gives you mastery on 4 different kinds of weapons.
Yep. But you pick and choose.
Yep. Oh man, now I want to make a barbarian who's just like is proficient in everything, or maybe just a fighter who's proficient in everything. Not everything, but you know.
In all honesty, like having a large swath of proficiency doesn't really benefit much in D&D.
No, I know. But I think it'd be fun just to like be like, oh,
If you're a fighter, you're pretty much proficient with just about everything from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're proficient with everything except for exotic stuff. But you have plenty of feats to take, so.
Yeah, but weapon mastery doesn't let you pick exotic stuff.
Is there a way to be proficient in exotic stuff? I know there isn't a. I know that there's a feat for it in Pathfinder. I don't know.
I would like to assume that there is some sort of feat.
That seems like a pretty easy homebrew. Become like one feat, gain like +1 in strength or dex. Become proficient in like 1 or 2 exotic weapons.
1 or 2.
One or 2 is in like I don't know what would be more balanced.
Are there even exotic weapons?
There are exotic weapons in 5e.
There have to be exotic weapons. So.
I mean, I'm almost 100% sure there are, but I'm gonna check. Opening up the player's handbook.
Honestly, I think exotic weapons should be based on the culture and locale.
Well, it kind of is. Some of the exotic weapons, usually, if you're that race, it qualifies as a like martial or simple weapon.
Yeah, like there was a bunch of orcish stuff that's like if you're a half orc or if you are an orc, it's not at least in Pathfinder. If you're an orc, this is considered a standard thing. Really?
There are no exotic
there aren't
weapons.
exotic weapons in 5e.
I mean, the spike chain is in martial, so. And spike chain is usually exotic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Equip weapons. Let's see. We got weapons simple, martial. Yep. There's no exotic in 5e.
Wait, why does the great bow do the same amount of damage as a longbow?
Great bow isn't in standard, so that might be a reason.
It's supposed to do.
Is the range longer?
It's the same range.
150, 600?
Yeah. She'd do like a 1d12 or something.
Huh.
But I did a D10.
All right. So does anyone have Randy and Raven? What are your thoughts on a possibility of the second campaign?
I approve of the second campaign existing.
I'm fine.
Also heard the thoughts of the other two on what it should be. Have y'all thought anything about what? Have any preferences on what you want to go for?
5e Pathfinder.
If we're looking specifically at 5e Pathfinder,
Or not just 5e Pathfinder, but I expressed interest in Pathfinder specifically.
Those were your choices or thoughts or ideas or whatever.
Yeah, I know that we had mentioned a couple as well.
I don't know that I'm overly concerned with what system it is, as long as it's not something that's going to take me forever to figure out.
Oh, well, not Pathfinder then.
Well, I mean, Pathfinder's like 3.5. Most of it makes sense. Really.
It is 3.5.
Yeah. With more stuff.
It's like 3.5 on steroids.
Exactly.
Well, it's just 3.5 with more reading.
I'll call it Mathfinder for nothing.
I'd also be fine with like something sci-fi.
I'm also okay with something sci-fi.
I would also be okay with something. So.
As long as I don't need to make any purchases.
I'm not as creative when it comes to sci-fi, though, so my character might not be quite as interesting, or it might be more.
Well, the only thing about sci-fi is you usually need a good background given, so that players can actually sort of make something.
I'm usually okay. I'm usually fairly okay at that. It's usually just like it's going to be a pretty basic character. I'm not going to have a fucking Turi.
Not until you commit suicide.
Yeah. Sam was literally like the second 5e character I ever made, so. And now I've made like 12. He was an okay character. He wasn't great.
And you killed him.
I did kill him, you're right.
He never got to see his potential.
So many loose ends he left.
No, he closed all of his loose ends.
His loose ends like rolled down the mountain.
He finally decided that none of them were worth pursuing.
Yeah, exactly.
Leading his master and the loot that you always wanted.
There comes
Sam
a point.
Was always a bit suicidal. We know this. Sam was always suicidal.
We know this now.
Actually sounds like people talking around the casket.
When you look back at some of his choices before, you realize, oh yeah, he was probably like wanting to die for forever. He made some questionable decisions multiple times.
Wasn't he an artist?
No.
He was a musician.
He was a musician.
All his stuff is worth more now.
Hmm?
All his stuff is worth more now.
He didn't have any of that kind of stuff, though.
That famous classic, yeah. That famous classic known as Voltron.
Distance somewhere.
Artist formerly known as Sam. Alright, Raven.
The only thing about sci-fi is what kind of sci-fi were you thinking, Raven?
Honestly, anything. I have really old Star Wars stuff from West End Games. I have D20 Star Wars, BattleTech, anything.
I guess I was just meaning more along the lines of like genre, not necessarily game mechanic, because You can
There's-
probably work a lot of different game systems into a sci-fi.
Okay,
theme.
wait. What was that? I remember this game that Me JP played. I want to figure out what was called. He was one of the first people I saw. Like playing games like this. What is it called?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Where is it? Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Okay. What is the game called? Stars Without Number? I think is what it's called. Number. A retro science fiction role-playing game influenced by the old school Renaissance and partially inspired by the great fantasy role-playing editions written by Tom Harvey. It's compatible with old school clones and but easily imported by your own favorite system. Stars Out Number offers GMs and players the tools to create their own sandbox-style adventures in the far future. Extensive GM support. The main thing that I remember is that it was basically a bunch of guys. There were a few bounty. Their idea was they were bounty hunters with their own ship, flying from different places doing bounty missions. School compatible rules for guns, cyberware, starships, and psionics. Domain rules for experienced players who want to set up their own colonies. Psychic Academy, Mercury Band, or other institution. While the stores can be fitted with a wide range of settings. The light is a vast canvas of scattered stars, winning exploration. This seems like you need a lot of fucking.
Well, Pathfinder has a bunch of sci-fi stuff too.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a whole section dedicated to futuristic weapons and armors and stuff.
Apparently, book coming out now called Starfinder, which is based off of the Pathfinder content.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's like
when
laser
I say like
swords, death rays, gravity pistols, arc
So-
rifles.
And when I say coming out, I mean like actually coming out like August 17th.
Oh, cool.
Is that when you say new book, what do you mean? Is that a Pathfinder book, or is it just like a storybook?
It's a campaign, right?
Okay.
It's a whole core rule book.
Oh, it's a
Okay.
core rule book.
So it's like classes and
Yeah.
things of that nature. I guess what I was sort of wondering is, if we were doing sci-fi, did we want it to be like the space travel and aliens, or
Hold on.
just super technology?
Well, it can be about whatever. It's just we need a system.
Oh,
Was it-
I
it
Yeah,
looks
think
that's
so?
the thing.
Was it official Starfinder? Yeah, their official stuff is coming out this month.
Yeah.
At least
Wow,
the
the
PDF is.
hardcover is $60.
The online cover is probably free. You just have to wait a few days.
Or I mean, one of us could just bite the bullet and pay $10.
For what?
The
PDF.
Starfinder cool.
Oh yeah, the
core
PDF
rulebook.
is the PDF is only $10.
What are you talking about? It's called being a pirate?
That's what I said. One of us bites the bullet. It's like all of us.
Yeah, one of us buys it for $10 and then pirates it for the rest of us. It's fine. August 17th, so that would be 12 days. 2 weeks. Then one of us would have to come up with a campaign.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Everyone's on a pirate ship, right? Space pirates? Everyone's a space pirate, right?
Everyone's a space pirate, right?
Done.
The only way to appropriately pirate material is to play
Considering
pirates
this
with it.
group, I can see this going wrong.
We could go with the we could just go with the standard Firefly setup though, if we wanted to just jump into it.
We're all space pirates.
Well, not space pirates, but we just all have a ship and we do whatever the fuck we want.
We're explorers.
We're smugglers. We're not pirates, we're smugglers.
He's a pirate. He's a smuggler. I'm just here for the adventure.
You're a Jedi.
Here's being dragged along.
I need to.
You got
see if-
kidnapped.
He got kidnapped. Turns out he's actually a prince of a world, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, I need to get back up and like probably next weekend. I think maybe I have time to go up to my parents' house and see what I can salvage of stuff that got drowned in the basement. But I'm hoping the Darkstrider campaign made it. If it did, the lead on that was kind of interesting because while you're not necessarily starting off by creating your own characters, it's a ship full of different characters that are trying to.
presets?
I'm sorry, what?
Are they preset characters?
It's mostly preset. They had ways of working in other characters, but basically you would be playing all of the various different characters on the ship, so you could do one-offs pretty easily. Because the whole the campaign is based around there's a Corellian corvette with rebels on it that are going into what was it? They've been dispatched to the distant Cathol sector to topple rogue warlord Moff Sarn. During the battle, the New Republic discovers mysterious artifacts known as Darkstrider technology, and they're trying to find information on this Moff Sarn. And you do different away missions. You have some space battles. I mean, it's kind of a combination of various different things because you're also trying to find maps of the various different areas that you're going into because it's all like unexplored space, and you're trying to make sure that if I remember correctly, one of the missions is trying to get food and resources for the ship.
Holy crap! I think this Starfinder is going to be awesome.
I'm reading about it too. It looks really cool.
I want to be a space marine.
It actually seems kind of similar to Shadowrun mixed with a few other things.
Shadowrun doesn't go
Not
into space.
Shadowrun. Shadow. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. That's why I said mixed with a few things.
Space Marine. It's like Warhammer, baby.
Yeah, so it seems sort of like Shadowrun mixed with like
It's like
Space Marine.
StarCraft. I'd say it's like StarCraft.
I'd say it's similar to StarCraft, but it seems also.
Well, StarCraft was based off Warhammer 40K. So.
Yeah, Blizzard's really good at that. But yeah, was it like the. Yeah, I can kind of see the similarity to like Space Marine sort of stuff.
Like Space Marines and like Star Wars. That's what I'd say it'd be like.
Yeah. Rules for starships, including customization and starship combat. Hell yes.
Everyone to your stations.
Who's gonna be the pilot?
I'll be the pilot.
We obviously hire a pilot.
You know I'm gonna be I'll be the captain. I'll be a rogue. They can fly the ship.
The person who
You know
flies
that-
the ship is not the captain.
No, that's true. Person
I'm
who
gonna
flies
be
the
the
ship does not
getaway.
own the ship. Okay. What is it? There can, and also the person who flies the ship might not also operate the guns. So
Oh shit, we're gonna need a crew.
yeah, we
Like
need.
an actual
Well,
crew.
we'd be the crew, you
Yeah.
dumb.
Well, depending on what ship you're flying.
Yeah, dumb.
We'd probably be flying a ship.
Freaking U.S. Enterprise. Oh yeah, all four of us could
Have
totally.
you
handle
ever
this
even
shit.
been on a spaceship before?
What probably
You're
what
out
would
of your element.
what would probably be we dealing with
Think we're on-
something
think we're on
about the
Millennium
size.
Falcon? No, we're on freaking
Yeah, we'd probably be on something like the Millennium Falcon.
Enterprise.
The Enterprise.
That's what we would build to.
Enterprise requires
eventually.
too many people.
But we're like
We
pirates,
couldn't
aren't
handle
we?
that.
Yeah, if we're like pirates, then we
We're
have.
just
we
gonna have a cargo ship.
we have
Pretend
fast,
to
small
friendly board
ships.
with people, destroy
Oh,
them on the
shit.
inside, and steal their stuff.
It's EVE Online
What
all
you
over
do?
again.
Fast. Yeah, if you're pirates, you take fast, small ships. That's what you get. That's what you do as pirates. You don't take big, hulking, takes forever to turn ships.
It's
And
EVE
then-
Online all over again.
Yeah.
Bad
So
flashbacks.
we'll all have our own little small ship, and then whenever the boss shows up, we'll combine together like Voltron. Yes,
Oh,
that's
God.
it.
Has anybody seen Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah.
Yes.
We all have our own fighters that come out of the ship, like in the hangar.
So we got like a small cruiser,
Yeah,
a carrier, a small
Yeah.
carrier.
it's basically what the Cowboy Bebop guys had. Small carrier, or like
Yep.
it was really like an addition. The carrier part was actually like a little
Oh,
extra.
they had a
thing.
cargo ship, didn't they?
Yeah, like that's why I said it was kind of like an extra thing.
They had
Yeah, it was
personal
a
ships. for it.
modified.
And
cargo
it wasn't
ship.
really a cargo ship either, because they didn't really carry cargo.
Yeah, it was a highly modified ship, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was. They basically had it specialized for what they were doing.
I'm pretty sure all of their ships were specialized or custom.
Yeah,
Definitely spikes.
definitely.
Well, actually,
yeah.
their ship is more like a. It's more like a living ship.
Yeah, that's true. It was like it was like it was a living ship. That's right. That's why we're kind of saying it's like it was heavily customized. Like it had a bay for fighters, or not fighters, just smaller
It's like personal ships.
crafts. Yeah, personal ships. It also had places to live in. Also had plenty of storage, but it didn't have any guns on it because they're bounty hunters. They're not going to be fighting any big ships.
The one thing that I did not get the first time I watched several of the episodes was the fact that the entire thing took place in our solar system.
Yep.
Because I always thought that the jump gates were going to different systems.
Nope.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
They
Our solar
go
system's
to one of the main
pretty big.
places they're on is Mars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the three main places that they visit are like Venus or not three, like the two are like Venus and Mars, right? I
Yep.
feel like they don't visit much else.
Yeah, our solar system's still pretty big, so
And they also visit like star stations or whatever. Space stations, that's what they're called.
Yep.
Not star stations. That's silly.
so this comes out
Oh,
what?
we would
2
also
weeks
need
from
the
now?
Alien Archive though, wouldn't we?
This was out in 2 weeks.
It looks like fun.
The PDF of the core is available in 2 weeks, and Alien Archive comes out in 2 weeks. Or no, it comes out in October. So PDF come out for this. Pre-order expected early October 2017. So yeah.
One thing I did like about Star Wars from West End Games was there was no classes.
There's a type though.
Yeah, but basically you can name your own type, and basically it's a point system for putting points into like the what was it? Dexterity, knowledge, mechanical, perception, strength, and technical. And then you put points into skills, and everybody has access to all of the skills. So
Is it a skill-based game?
it's skills and attribute. Let's see. Oh, and everybody has the possibility of Jedi skills.
Force sensitive.
Most people don't bother with it unless they're wanting to do a Jedi or something. But then you also have to worry about if you go that route, you have to worry about all of the different things that are not force sensitive or that completely nullify the fact that you have force abilities. Wow,
What?
that yawn.
Yeah.
Now I'm caught between the Star Wars campaign and the Starfinder campaign.
Well, the
Well,
Star
we could
Wars
do
campaign
a
is
Star
like a
Wars
short-term
campaign.
thing, right?
In preparation for Starfinder, since we have
That
to
could be
wait
a
for
thing.
Starfinder.
It's only 14 pages. It's a campaign,
Yeah.
and Starfinder is a core rulebook, so it's for building campaigns upon them.
Right. But Starfinder doesn't exist for
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So
I actually expect to see like a bunch of streams for Starfinder.
Guys, this could be our big break. Oh,
First
Yeah,
players,
we're all extremely interested.
first ones live streaming.
get like 500, 2,000 viewers.
Exclusive.
I
Give
wouldn't know
exclusive
how to
rights to
respond.
Random.
I would
Well,
not know
you
how to
think
respond.
you're sponsored for everything that we say and do.
Raven gets a sponsorship.
Yep.
Quiet Gamer Award.
On the task of DMing it.
All right, so Starfinder is a different thing from Pathfinder. It's just a core rulebook.
Yes, it's just from the same people.
Yeah.
Well, it said that it holds a lot of says that in the book it says that you'll find rules and tips on using the Pathfinder RPG content with Starfinder.
Yeah, you could
You
probably
can use this
mix them.
creature and pretend it's a blank.
We all know it's going to be orcs and goblins. They're always everywhere, breeding everywhere.
So the classes are going to be Technomancer, Mechanic, Solarian, Soldier, Envoy, Mystic, and Operative.
Are you guys seeing this? Send me the link.
Well, those are only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4, and there's 7 classes.
Engineering with a robot buddy. That sounds very Shadowrunny. Physical melee combat, harnessing the cycles of the stars. Okay. Heavy weapon specialist, diplomat and ally booster. Caster channeling strange energies to manipulate biological systems. Stealthy skill specialists. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all 7.
Instead of dungeon crawling, you are planet crawling.
Okay, so mechanics are engineers who often build droids or have implanted artificial intelligences.
Cool. I'd go for the implanted AI personally. I think that would be cooler.
I think the droid buddy would be better.
It's basically similar to intelligent magic items.
Basically be Rocket and Groot, except Groot's your robot.
Pretty much.
It'd be like having R2D2 with you everywhere.
Well, that would be the droid. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I'd go for the mechanical Tony Stark. For the mechanic Tony Stark. That's what I'd go for. The Iron Man, except without the armor.
No, wear the armor, and the armor has an AI in it.
Yeah.
So
Technomancer
Master
sounds
Chief.
like a wizard. I think the soldier is Master Chief.
Solarians, mystical melee
are
combatants
Jedis.
who harness stars and black holes to
I know,
create
I thought
weapons
that
and
was-
armor.
I thought that was really
Those are
silly.
Jedis. The Solarians sound like Jedis. The Envoy's a bard.
No, they sound more like Sith. And the actual Sith people, not the... Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
The race, rather than the...
Yeah.
Those red-skinned people.
I
Yeah.
feel
Yes.
similar to Star Wars, but with more magic and moral ambiguity.
I don't know, I thought Star Wars was extremely morally ambiguous.
Not the first.
Not because they
films.
tried.
Yeah,
Not
those
because
dang
not
Jedi.
because they didn't try.
Be the Envoy. They're a bard.
I love that. Diplomat and ally booster. So
The bard. They're a bard. Except with a different they're supposed to be like they're supposed to be like
Some
talkers,
become
not-
celebrities or even cult leaders.
well,
And they're-
well, we know who's been the envoy.
They're known as starship captains and con artists. All right.
Interesting. Greater
So
focus
they
on
basically
exploration
run the gamut.
with a galactic scale, many alien worlds and races, and the assumption that the player characters comprise the crew of starship. So yeah, that's what I thought. The player characters are the crew of the starship. Starship battles with a distinct miniatures-based combat system on a hexagonal grid. Cool. With facing and distinct roles for party members similar to Star Trek bridge officers. Can you put Roll20 on a hexagonal thing? Matt?
I have no clue.
I don't think it's made for it.
um,
It's like a 3D map, right?
nah, it's actually really customizable.
Yeah, I thought Roll20 was super customizable like that. So
Was Starfinder intended for a hexagonal map?
apparently the starship
Cool.
battles are.
Yeah, because you
okay.
have to go up and down.
So the starship battles happen on a hexagonal grid. So
It's EVE Online all over again.
Well, you can go up and down in a square
Hmm.
system. But
Yeah.
EVE Online sort of does up and down, but you've got an actual plane that you stay on, and you can't really go up or down.
build, upgrade custom systems, design, build, and upgrade custom starships.
So apparently operatives are the ones that have had the least
Rotate.
information given about them.
That
Custom
they probably
development.
just started releasing stuff about operative then. Or that was probably the most recent. Like, hey guys, here's the stealthy guy.
Yeah, that's literally all they pretty much know.
Well, you have to have your standard classes. The Technomancer sounds like a wizard. The Mechanic is probably a druid.
Mystic sounds more druidy to me, but
Well, the Mystic almost sounded something. It's somewhat like a druid, but it's also somewhat like a cleric because they
Yeah.
required the religious or they
yeah, that's true. It's like a weird
included
combo.
religious aspect.
The Solarian is probably a paladin.
Yeah, I would. I think Solarian is sort of like a paladin / warlock.
Well, it's a melee combatant, so
Soldier's just the fighter.
Well, warlocks can be melee combatants if you gear them towards it.
Soldier's the
And-
fighter. Envoy's the bard.
yeah. And the
Operative.
operative is your rogue.
Operative's your rogue.
Yeah.
But really, I feel like you're typically gonna have a more roguey kind of game in a sci-fi.
I actually kind of
Alright.
lean towards the soldier being more ranger-like,
Well, a
just
ranger,
because it's
a soldier can use ranged weapons too.
Yeah,
They're just all-around weapon specialists.
right.
They're-
But we
they're-
are talking about space, so guns is generally what it's leaning towards when it
Yeah,
says heavyweight.
yeah, but a ranger also kind of has that mixed in, like, in with nature sort of thing. And fighters can also use ranged weapons and can spec for ranged weapons. So
Yeah,
Agreed.
when I'm looking at a lot of things or when I'm looking at images, most of the things wielding a.
oh yep, there's that
Okay.
hexagonal grid, guys. Look at that.
Oh, like that.
Oh, cool.
That would be how space combat.
Gotcha.
That one, and there's also this one.
Oh, okay, so it's like that. Okay, so it's like civilization.
Yeah. Plans for compatibility license references of organized play. Well, the system is designed to be largely compatible with Pathfinder. There are some significant differences. Magic items work differently, and Pathfinder's magic item creation system will be omitted or radically changed. Some skills are consolidated while other skills are added. Cyber technology such as body modification and implants are integrated into the core system.
I just want to sneak attack with a shotgun. Do the individual pellets get individual rolls? No, broken OP.
In Pathfinder, it's basically a
No,
dex
it's
save.
not. It's a cone attack.
Dex save is like avoid shotgun bullets.
Do they call it a blunderbuss though?
Yeah, there's a shotgun and then a blunderbuss.
Oh, they call it
double
different
barrel.
things. All right.
This is my favorite thing ever. I just love how descriptive it is because they don't have any information yet. So, like,
A starship is a spaceship capable of interstellar travel.
but now click on spaceship.
Spaceship. A spaceship is a vehicle capable of space travel.
Space travel typically requires advanced technology or powerful magic.
We don't know yet.
I also like that interstellar travel and space travel go to the same link, which is really great. Just in case you were concerned about them saying different things.
Oh, I'm trying to. I want to figure out what I want. I'm looking at this. I'm like, just based off of what the outside core. What would I want to? What would I want my character to be?
I'll probably be caught between envoy and operative, trying to decide which. I don't know. I'd kind of have to actually see the classes too once they're released before. I
Yeah.
Well, the envoy is going to be like a bard, so just without the magic.
Do what?
I think the envoy is going to be a bard without the magic.
Actually, I think I'm not sure what the envoy is going to actually be. It does say diplomat and ally booster, which leads me to think bard.
It's going to be
But-
bard-like.
They are clearly trying to craft them towards a leadership or deceptive role, like one of the two.
I imagine super duper Buffy, like right from the
Well,
beginning.
The bard is really good at leadership.
No one
I
has
imagine-
ever accepted a bard as a leader.
Well,
I just don't think it's ever happened.
I imagine a bard, but with like a different flavor. basically. So like their skills and stuff will also be different to affect that flavor, but it's basically a bard with a different flavor. Instead of the I'm artsy and shit, I'm like you're actually like a diplomat.
Well, bards don't have to be musicians.
No, I know, but that's why I said artsy. Artsy and flamboyant and etc. Like that's the style that bards have, while an envoy seems more like a leader.
All right,
Well,
listen,
they
how do we
gave
do
them the
this?
badass kind of description.
Yeah,
Envoy-
exactly.
The envoy is Princess Leia.
Yeah, exactly. It's Princess
Basically.
Leia.
All right, so let's do this then. All of us will choose the envoy as our first class, and we'll all make our own envoy and just boost each other.
No, I think they stack.
All right, so the
We'll just become the tribunal.
all right, so the envoy is Princess Leia. The operative is
That's Han.
that would be Han Solo. The soldier is
Han.
Chewbacca.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I would say probably Solarian is probably
Luke.
Luke. Yeah,
The Mystic is Obi-Wan in
Yep.
the later version.
yeah, the old Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
It's old Ben Kenobi.
Good answer, obviously.
And R2D2 is the mechanic.
And his robot buddy is C-3PO.
Or no, would R2D2 be the Technomancer? Or the,
He'd
or
be a
the
mechanic.
He'd be
And his robot buddy is C-3PO.
That's hard to say,
Right.
actually.
Or is it the other way around?
Where's the other way around?
C-3PO can actually fix anything.
Exactly. I think he'd be the mechanic, the robot buddy.
I think the thing is, I think the mechanic would actually do everything, and the robot buddy would be the one going around nagging him.
Well,
Which
C-3PO doesn't
suits
fix anything.
R2D2.
No, the mechanic is R2D2, who built the robot buddy to translate for him. Basically, except not, but you know.
Or C-3PO is the engineer, and R2's the dude. He built R2 to fix everything.
Yeah.
The only
Now,
thing
where's the hero of the story fit into this?
the only thing we don't have yet is
Lando
the
Calrissian.
Technomancer. No covers. We don't have a Technomancer yet. Who would be the Technomancer? Anybody have any ideas on who a Technomancer would be in Star Wars?
So it would be Darth Vader.
No.
No.
Say
Darth
Darth
Vader's
Vader.
still a Solarian, I think.
Yeah, I would say he's still a Solarian.
He's a cyborg.
Maybe,
He's magic.
crap. The guy above Darth Vader.
Darth Sidious.
I
No,
could
but
see
he
that.
doesn't do like hacker blending technology.
Yeah,
That's
he
actually
just-
really difficult.
He'd be more mysticky.
Yeah.
Probably.
Vader,
probably a
he'd be a
mystic.
technomancer. He's a cyborg who can use magic.
No, but he would just be I think he would just be a Solarian with like implants. A lot of implants, but implants.
And some prosthetic body parts.
Yeah, exactly.
And an iron lung.
I don't think there really is a Technomancer in Star Wars. It's not magic-y enough, or tech-based, really.
I mean, even if you went with Anakin as a kid, it would be mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah, the issue with Star Wars is that like anybody who would kind of be a Technomancer fits better as a mechanic. The Technomancer is kind of where like the
That's why R2D2 needs to be the Technomancer. He's the only one who could possibly fit it.
no, but
But he
I
has
think
no magic.
the issue is that the Technomancer fits more of the Shadowrunner style than Star Wars. So Shadowrun style than Star Wars. So
Well, you blend technology and magic. And I think Darth Vader is that.
Force sensitive.
No, he's not. He's not even a living
R2D2
being.
is totally force sensitive. There's no way he's not.
Yeah, I would actually make a case that R2D2 is evidence that a machine can be force sensitive.
R2 is a plot device.
Exactly.
Which is why
So
he's
is
force
force
sensitive.
sensitivity. The
Plot
force is a
device
plot
ever.
device.
Yeah. Like, you know, the force.
R2D2
I
is the
am
Force.
one with the force. The force is with me. Guess what? I have plot armor. I have plot armor. I'll keep on walking around. I have plot armor.
And then he did the thing until he didn't need the plot armor anymore. Yeah, once he did the thing that the plot needed him to do, he died. So
I said the Force is the best plot development tool.
yep. The Force is with me. The Force is with me.
It took me Rogue One to actually realize that too. I was like, huh.
It's literally just plot armor.
The Force is the plot.
Can do nothing to me. I have plot armor. You can't do nothing to me.
And being able to manipulate the Force is to manipulate the plot.
Or is the Force manipulating them to use it?
Yeah, because the Force is the plot, and the plot manipulates them.
The plot.
I want you over there now. Plot, make them over there. All right, push.
Transporter beam.
Oh, okay. It's saying it's supposed to be similar to Star Wars, but with magic.
Yeah, it's Star Wars plus magic, which is the Technomancer. That's the only additional class.
Basically, yeah.
So it has the Force and magic.
Well, the Force is like magic, kind of.
Yeah. The Force is pseudoscience, but really it's magic.
Then you have traditional magic.
So 17th, we're getting the core rule book and the player character folio and the GM screen, whatever the GM screen is supposed to is. That's just the screen, isn't it?
It's probably a character sheet.
So something that does sort of confuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they will have some design scope where these classes are obviously going to be capable of fighting in actual ground combat. Otherwise, you don't need melee and heavy weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Space combat, which is probably going to
be on Hexagon.
work like a mount.
I wouldn't be surprised if the ground combat also takes place on a hexagonal grid. Just for
it does actually say that distinct roles for party members similar to Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well,
your soldier's going to be in the turrets.
It says distinct roles for party members similar to Star Trek.
Okay, so you have like
spaceship battles.
You'd have like the gunner guy.
He's probably the soldier.
Yeah.
Because he has the best hit.
Well, I would be surprised if it's a completely different specking thing.
Even if the envoy is a bard in sort of ground combat, he might be a more significant role in the spaceship combat. So there might be some sort
He'd probably be the captain.
Trade-off and things.
Or maybe
because that's how he's sort of like design scoped.
Or maybe he's just more useful in general in ground combat than the bard.
Well, what I mean is if everything has a trade-off in some way, like maybe some classes are super strong on the ground, but they need the backup when they're doing the spaceship battles. I don't know how exactly they design the balance for it.
Yeah, the soldier wouldn't be able to fly the ship, but the operative would be able to.
Maybe, but also maybe it's a completely different system where like the soldier could fly the ship very easily. It's just you have to spec into it. But you couldn't also spec into gunning on the ship as well.
Right.
So the soldier could be like the pilot and the on the grounds I shoot everybody guy. But he wouldn't also be like the I shoot the guns on the ship guy.
I think it's going to be flying your ship's going to be skill based, and the soldier's probably not going to have it.
Possibly.
He'd probably be in the turret gunning. with this massive hit bonuses.
They
Yeah,
say,
so
they say
maybe
it's
everyone has individual skill things, but I don't know. There'll probably be more explanation to it later.
they say it should integrate well with Pathfinder, so it makes me think that they're going to use a lot of the similar systems with Pathfinder. So
Yeah,
each
probably.
class, so each like different parts of command of like working of crewing like the starship probably would be a different skill that and then like if certain classes would be able to be proficient in those different skills or start off with proficiency in the different ones or whatever, you know.
Maybe. My only thought on that is it looks like the Starship Battle thing is like a distinctly new design that they wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
So it might be completely.
It could
in
just
and
be a
of itself
completely
unique.
different system, yeah.
And classes themselves might just get secondary features that are for space combat.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Which
the
would be-
mechanic might be able to get features to help with a ship's health or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it makes sense, like the mechanic's gonna be like the ship's mechanic as well.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna work on the ship and upgrade shit and like keep it working well. Maybe like he can make it so that you can like every so often you can move a little faster or something or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe the mechanic will do the equivalent of enchanting for ships. Sorry, Raven, were you saying that?
Hello.
Sudden silence.
Were you guys talking that whole time?
No.
Okay. Like I was like,
I
wait,
had stopped
why
talking as
did-
soon as my brain picked up that I thought somebody else was talking at the same time as me.
I just heard. Well, I mean, everybody dropped out for me for like a good like 5-6 seconds there.
Yeah, everybody stopped talking.
Okay, I was like,
I think I'm hearing
freaked me
an
out for a second.
echo of myself, and I thought it was Raven, so I like stopped talking in the mid sentence.
Nah, it's me.
And then-
Hold on.
I think Solarians are Green Lanterns.
Green Lantern.
I mean, that could be the case.
They create energy
Hold on.
weapons and armor from themselves.
And maybe the Technomancer is the Jedi. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do find the description of using stars and black holes to create weapons very entertaining. That's why I reference them to warlocks, since warlocks tend to have some sort of summonable weapon. But
I didn't think warlocks were very good at melee though.
I mean, just about. So that largely depends on what version of D&D and how you actually design your character from onset. A warlock can be good at melee. They're just not usually, because they have a much greater potential on the spell side. In 4th edition, you could pretty much choose whatever you wanted, because 4th edition was basically for people who were super new and just wanted to be crazy with whatever they wanted to do. But there's sort of always been a vague use of warlocks as being like melee casters, though they've never made it very obvious in the way that they've designed them ability-wise.
Well, yeah, they have actual classes for that.
Yeah. They have better classes that they've made over time for it. But the warlock was like, whenever they first originally made the warlock, it was sort of like, this is a non-paladin melee caster was sort of the idea.
Apparently, there's already a PDF out.
The PDF's already out. It's probably out in like torrent sites or whatever.
Yeah, you can probably find it.
Well, no, it's
Since they
no,
have
no,
free tests.
it's legit. Like it's like a legit copy of it.
Do you have it?
Where'd you find it?
It's not the core rulebook.
It's not the core.
Well, why are you wasting our time with it?
It's it's like a base.
It's called First Contact.
Is it like the homebrew SRD that inspired it?
No, I think it's standalone. That's what it looked like to me.
It just
Matt,
different creatures.
it sounds like you're
You're using all your broadband looking at this PDF.
yeah.
Uploading this PDF.
Well, if Matt lives in the same place, he doesn't have very good internet.
Nope. .7.
0.7.
I mean, that's less than their standard of 1.5.
I will say though, it's almost 11:30, and all we've done is discuss what we're going to do later.
I'm honestly okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too.
Well, we said we were going to discuss it, what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All along.
I'm excited for this. This is going to be cool. This Starfinder.
Yeah, it does look really exciting.
Brand spanking new.
That makes it extra exciting.
There's no monk.
No, no. Crap.
I'm sure there will be an option in the somebody.
Wait,
I'll
maybe
just
the
choose the
Solarian
fighter.
could fill the monk.
Yeah, if I had to make a guess, it would be the Solarian could.
Maybe he could fill the monk role.
I'll just play barehanded. You know, just don't use any weapons. Just punch people.
You put your weapons over your hands. You create energy.
I'm starting to believe that they need to take the Elder Scrolls route and just separate classes and the weapons they use.
Yeah, they do that through proficiencies.
No. Skyrim doesn't limit you, or Elder Scrolls doesn't limit you proficiency.
Oh, you can always use a weapon. You just suck at it.
Yes, but you don't ever get better unless you waste points on it.
Yeah, but Pathfinder's not skill based. It's attribute based.
Yeah. Matt, what is this virus?
Is that what you found?
First Contact.
It's probably a
What a
module.
great name.
It's like a module. I can actually here's the actual link to the thing. It's a free PDF. It's not like I'm giving you something expensive. Download it. I went and made an account.
You have to make an
Galarian
account to get it.
Yeah, you had to make a Pazio account.
Starfinder creatures and foes. Preview
Yeah, it looks like a module.
abilities and okay, so it's basically just like, hey, here's a sneak peek at Starfinder, guys.
Here's some of the things that you'll see.
Basically.
I'm not surprised. There's probably a bunch of orcs, and they probably spread around through spores.
So basically, it's just
And they use more Daka.
Use more Daka. Daka.
Because they're orcs with a K. And then we're probably gonna have to fight the Zerg.
I'm gonna get Zerg rushed. You get AoE. Hit the whole side of the barn.
Wait a sec, aren't Jedi like monks?
yes.
They just use a lightsaber. Because I see them using abundant step a lot.
A lot. If you could find a Jedi that can use one where it's a where it's a save or die.
Good, we have the Zerg. The Han.
Han is a Zerg.
Insectoid creatures. Space spiders.
180 pounds.
Like how you are ignoring my spoiler.
Find one to learn. Get it.
Do it.
Oh,
Funny.
that was the retarded part in that movie.
Did you? So there's apparently a theory going out now about it.
Is he glenning? Is he actually going to be alive?
No.
About
We're
what?
basically about the whole Kylo Ren Han Solo scene.
Uh-huh.
How Kylo was like, "I need your help in doing this," and he puts his hand on the lightsaber, and people are speculating that he actually that Han pushed the button. That's why he
Nope,
said
he's
thank
dead.
you.
He's deader than dead.
Speculating he's not dead.
Unfortunately, I don't think Star Wars is that clever.
Well, no,
Star Wars
see,
is never clever.
Star Wars is clever. It's just the director and the writers that are not clever.
Yeah, exactly. It's the fans who are clever and look for clever stuff in the not cleverness.
Yeah, I think Star Wars
but now
since the
they
very
can take it
beginning has been an
and
example
put that into this thing.
of a beautiful idea where people threw stuff together and then other people found ways to make it interesting.
Exactly.
Like
Just like
all those
everything
books.
that's ever come from Spielberg and Lucas.
And all of that stuff is non-canon. It's the Disney.
No, it's technically canon now. I mean, it belongs to Disney.
Nope,
Or
they
wait.
killed everything.
What are you saying is non-canon?
everything else that's not made by Disney. You said fans made all this cool shit about it, right? And all of it is non-canon now.
Well, no, I meant like fans always found things in. It's much like it sort of makes me think of Harry Potter. There were things that fans pointed out that J.K. Rowling just sort of said, "Yeah, I meant that," and it was obvious she like had no clue that she even did it. Because one of the times that she said it, like somebody later came back and said, "No, that's not actually possible because blah 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 blah."
Yeah, but Harry Potter fans are like crazy.
Yeah, they are.
Correct.
There were Star Wars fans.
No, not at all.
They're
Star
crazy,
Wars is
but-
like D&D, where like there's an obvious insane population that is involved, but most people are okay.
Yeah, but Star Wars didn't start insane shipping wars.
You know.
Yeah, there was not shipping wars in Star Wars.
Well, that's
Except for-
because the only shipping you could do was the one that the movie did a good job of tearing up itself. By going, oh yeah, they're brother and sister.
Oh,
Kiss.
all right.
Star Wars also had the advantage of like consistently making characters that either no one wanted to care to think about or everyone wanted to themselves. No one wants to ship Obi-Wan with other people.
Well, there was no one to ship him with.
Yeah, there's not.
Right. I mean, Star Wars doesn't really have many shippable scenarios anyway.
It's probably because it doesn't have a crap ton of characters.
Well, it does have a crap ton of characters, but basically any possible relationship is actually a relationship by the end of.
Yeah.
Not in the original movies. They only had like a few.
Yeah, in the original
Yeah,
movies,
it
you've
worked.
only got like 7 people to work with, and
You didn't have.
2 are robots and 1's an animal, so. Or an animal person.
So really, you had. And the one female you had was like Leia.
Yeah. And then Luke turned out to be her brother so that they could put her with Han Solo.
Like, what else are they gonna do?
Right. I mean, it was the time in films where you couldn't have a couple not form. That would have just been awkward.
Yeah.
No, I actually am really like super excited for this Starfinder.
I am too.
Your specialization. Yep. That's why my vote is on Pathfinder.
Oh, we have cloak. Yes. We have cloaking fields.
That's a thing we have.
Operatives and soldiers get cloaking fields.
How do you? Where do you?
It's in the PDF.
Oh, it's in the PDF. Okay. You created an account for it.
Oh no.
Matt,
I dropped the
Oh, Matt linked
Google
it.
link. I wonder what space beholders are going to be like.
Space beholders. Oh gosh.
Or space mind players.
Well, Onyx.
Starfinder monsters don't have ability scores. Characters do. Ability scores are described in turn. Modifiers familiar. Learning a monster's exact ability. Minimum ability. Sure, okay. Armor class. Starfinder monsters now have 2 armor classes, energy. Alright, that makes sense.
Yeah, they should have kinetic and energy armor.
Weapons that deal with the physical. KAC. When converting these rules, the higher of the 2 values for normal. Touch AC. Need of monsters flat-footed AC. Stat block. A monster can do that would grant the monster a static bonus are assumed to already be factored into it. Alright, cool. Here are some aliens.
Yes, we get free hide in plain sight.
That just makes They did away with the CMB and C. I'm kind of happy with that. That was kind of
CMB and CMD.
What the hell? Oh, for space battle in Starfinder. Ha.
Is that Star Fox?
Yeah.
That's the good one, right?
I believe that's 64. Yeah.
I can see it playing out like that. Fighting giant faces in space.
Wait. Which one is that? I think that's Adventures. That's Star Fox Adventures.
Space Goblin.
You're back.
That's 64.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask you guys, up, right up, like, do any of you actually want to use
Do any of us actually want to use what?
melee weapon?
I don't know. I might.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to use a dagger?
Me. It's space. I'd rather shoot people.
You have a laser pistol and you have a dagger.
I'm probably going.
A better gun.
If I go Envoy, I'm probably going to go a laser pistol and a sword and just switch between them, depending on whatever
Unless you
works
need an
better.
open hand.
Melee weapons in Star Trek Online are uber.
Or Uber.
They're overpowered.
Well,
Think about it. What races do you have in Star Trek
Human.
that use melee
green
weapons?
people.
Don't you have those Klingon people?
Klingon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Klingon. That's the only one I know.
The melee weapon should be strong because
There's
you have to get up close.
I can't remember what it is,
Also
but
in Star Trek, no one wears armor.
there's
Yeah,
a pole arm with a scythe blade on either. Well, it's a short scythe blade on either end, which also does quite a bit of damage.
Doesn't it start with a D?
They do have energy shields. Star Trek, though,
Yes,
like personal energy. So yeah, that would be a
and
good reason. Why
Star
melee
Trek
would
on.
be-
Yeah, Star Trek Online uses those a lot, or
I'm
at least
guessing
used
not as
to.
common in the show. I've never actually watched the show.
In the show, the people that die are not important, and they pretty much just die instantly.
And they all have red shirts.
Well, I'm aware of that, but do the main characters how often do they turn on their energy shield?
They don't
They don't
need
have
to.
to
Exactly.
because they're not wearing a red
Plot
shirt.
armor. Yeah,
Yeah, plot armor.
yeah. They're usually not wearing a red shirt, or if they are, then they actually have a first and a last name, so therefore they're important.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. What's your name, Jim? Oh, well, never mind. Talk to you later. Hi,
Oh,
what's
sorry
your
to disturb
name? I'm George Clooney. Okay, well then you've got it both a first and a last name. You're living.
You should come with us.
Yeah,
Someone like you are in. Jim, we could always use an extra. Why don't you come along as well? Someone needs to get shot.
We need a meat shield. Come with us.
So, when you get in space battles, do you do ship-to-ship combat, or do you do border? Do you board the ship and fight?
Starfinder.
In
Yeah,
Starfinder, it appears to be ship-to-ship combat, and then there may also be some amount of boarding.
I imagine that it would depend on the engagement.
Yeah.
If things go bad while you're at at their ship, probably hand to hand, or not hand to hand, but infantry
On ground.
style. Yeah, on ground combat. But if things go bad while your ships are separated, I would imagine it ships.
Yeah. So I think they are designing both. So the reason it will be able to work with normal Pathfinder to some extent is because you will have the basic style characters, but you will also have ship-to-ship combat.
They definitely have both.
I'm pretty sure classes provide bonuses to your ship.
Yeah, I'm sure of that as well. In some way, shape, or form. But they have both forms of combat. I imagine they're going to design the classes in the way to where the ship is completely just like extra fluff.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I imagine too. The classes are most ground combat oriented. Also, the ship stuff.
I think the ship stuff is just going to be like additional detail because I think
it's basically a
wanting
different game.
Yeah, they're making a different game, but I think they want everything in it to also be compatible. So to that extent, the classes will still be comparable to other classes with or without a ship.
Yeah, you don't need a ship. It's not required.
Right. But it did look like they wanted to put some amount of emphasis on the ability to design, upgrade, and develop ships. So
Yeah.
Which I'm excited about. I want my own ship. And by want my own ship, I want us to have our.
a part of me almost wants to be a mechanic who makes ships and then sells them.
Well, you could see if that's a thing.
Well, you probably wouldn't be able to make it by yourself.
You might be able to. He could make single seat fighter ships, maybe.
Maybe I can make 7 droids and they can help me make the ship myself. How about that?
But you
Or
can
just
only have one robot buddy.
I'll have one AI that operates 7 different droids.
They make their own. They make their own robots, right? Your AI makes the robots. They make more robots,
Yeah,
and the robots make the ships.
and I'll build a factory.
All controlled by your robot AI, buddy.
Yeah, my international space factory ran by my great robot buddy, HAL 9001, who has been slightly tweaked to not be insane. And cool.
Oh, we got a character backstory already.
My backstory is I'm the guy that found the remains of Hal in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Right.
And said I can rebuild him.
Then you made Jarvis.
I'm still trying to figure out like what would I want to do. I feel like I'd probably just be a soldier because I want to shoot guns a lot.
They're probably good at that.
Yeah, I actually really want to know how the like combat is going to work, like what the stat system is for the combat.
What?
What the stat system is going to be for the combat. Like I know they're going to use the same like base stats, but if the heavy weapons mentality is oriented around guns, which it appears to be,
It's probably gonna
the
use
soldier
dex.
is. I don't know if that's going to be like dex based or.
Well, range weapons are they tend to be dex based.
Right.
But I wonder if that's actually going to be a thing. Like.
Right. I think you get what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know what stats they plan to use because the only image of a soldier I've seen so far was a dwarf holding a big, like, Gatling cannon.
Yeah, like
He also has a sword too.
we don't know yet.
I think it's gonna be.
For all I know, they might do somewhat like I don't know. They might have weapons that are strength based just because they're like super heavy.
I think.
Or
they're
maybe
all
it's
gonna be
maybe they
dex-based.
just use a different system for like how your weapons are dealt with, but probably
They just
not.
change the dex stat, change it to precision.
Yeah, they could change the stats like that too. Wait, the monsters have stats, so
Yeah.
We'll see.
If the monsters are compatible with normal Pathfinder, then I imagine they're using the same stats.
yeah, they're using the same stats.
But I kind
Um,
of agree. Probably like small arms will probably be dex based, while
Super heavy weapons will
super
be.
heavy or maybe even like mildly heavy weapons could be a combination. Like maybe like ARs will just be a combination of dex plus
They're probably gonna have a bunch of range increase or range damage feats that you can get.
Yeah. That or the damage of weapons might be non-altered by.
I mean, why would they be altered?
Right. Why would they be altered? Well, I mean, the same argument would be made for ranged weapons in normal Dungeons and Dragons. Do they have
Yeah.
stat modifiers on their
like-
damage?
Depends on what you have. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like a short bow being used by a rogue. Does he add his dex to the damage, or is the damage just the base die?
I mean, I would
Damage
usually
is
assume that
just-
it's based-
Without no feats or anything, it just does the bow damage.
Yeah, I would usually assume that it's just based on that the idea is that you're more precise with where you hit them.
Right.
And since
Okay. So what
Yeah.
I'm thinking about then is like in 3.5, didn't they have, was it the composite bow? That could add your strength modifier to the damage.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
would just
strength
be
bows.
based on, hey, you
But
could.
we're not talking about bows.
It's harder to pull back. The arrow's gonna.
Right. I know we're talking about guns, but
They're probably gonna run it like the gunslinger. The gunslinger at like level 5 gets dex to damage.
I would be surprised if. I would be surprised if they have any form of strength for damage at all.
Well, for melee weapons, they would.
Well, yeah, I mean for guns.
No, they'll probably dex. Just look at the gunslinger and the Pathfinder. At a certain level, they get dex to damage.
Yeah, probably all guns are just going to be like basically like, hey, it's always dex. If even there's a damage.
And as a soldier, you're probably going to get to choose between melee weapon focused or range weapon focused.
Or maybe not
You
even
know, like archetypes.
it's not. You don't even really need to choose. Like it's like, hey, you have a melee weapon for when they're close, and yeah, like I would think more like you have a choice of like how heavy do you want to go.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be like this. If you want to go the ranger route, you can get the ranger archetype type thing, you know, and you'll get the bonus dex to damage. But if you don't pick that, then you'll just use melee weapons.
We will.
You know what I'm saying? Like an archetype.
I don't really know exactly how archetypes work in Pathfinder, so.
Well, archetypes change out class features for different features.
Gotcha.
So, like, if you pick the ranger base soldier, you get dex to damage and you lose like some other feature.
Gotcha.
It's like we've expressed just about everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Nice Pathfinder next week. See you guys.
Oh crap, they still have Dimension Door and Enervation and Hold Monster. They kept the classic spells.
We have to be balanced.
Wait, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the monster abilities.
Ah.
So I'm getting field stats and how it affects things.
Still can't decide on.
Oh wow, weapons hit harder too.
Well, I imagine chances are they're going to have gun, or like if they're space heavy weapons or whatever, are going to do a lot of damage, and so they won't need bonus damage.
Yeah, I expect something sort of like the Fallout 3, sort of, for the distinguishing between types of guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arms and maybe
I see.
maybe you could be more trained in like kinetic guns or energy guns, if they even have kinetic guns.
There should be kinetic guns. They have a regular pistol. Yeah, they got sniper rifles.
But they also have energy guns.
Yeah, they also have energy rifles too, so.
All right, well then there's probably kinetic guns.
Yeah, because I'm
Guns.
looking at them.
What I really like about guns in any D&D type system, like when I look at the guns that are in the Pathfinder thing, they're very obviously only using 22s. Because I don't see how a revolver is going to do the same amount of damage as like a short bow or whatever it is.
This is it.
I think it's like as a longbow. I think
it does a D8, doesn't it?
yeah, it's a D8, so it's like the equivalent of a longbow.
Well, the thing about the pistols in Pathfinder is that they do touch AC.
Touch AC.
Yeah, so you don't get your armor bonus from your armor or shield.
Oh, so okay, I get you.
That's why.
Well, that says when firing an early firearm.
Well, it's for all the firearms.
Oh yeah, you're right. It also says it's on advanced firearms.
That wouldn't make sense if the early firearms were just as were. were worse than the
Yeah.
later ones.
Oh man.
So,
When the target is within the first 5 range increments. What are the range increments?
first 5, so it should be like 25 feet then, right?
20 feet is. Wait, I don't understand what's meant by range increments when everything
It
just
should
says
be
range.
1 5 foot. 1 range increment should be 5 foot, right?
I would assume.
Yeah, I assume that too. So
Someone said that the highest spell slot is 6th level.
Spells in space?
yeah, they get
Yeah.
regular spells. Necrovite, he's got a bunch of spells.
Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure the Technomancer is going to have access to some of the normal spells that
The
Other-
Technomancer and the Mystic should.
yeah. Like the Mystic might have access to a couple of cleric spells.
And the Envoy. Or I cast like a bard.
I think that they should not give the Envoy spellcasting.
They
It doesn't
might-
really sound like they're going to.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more like a.
They probably give you
Maybe,
boosters like
It could be
stimulates.
charismatic, charisma based, but I've also seen like, what is it? Video games often go with the like they boost stuff with their tech, you know?
Like inspiration or tech boosting.
Yeah.
It's the way they read, it sounds more like it'll be the inspiration sort of buffing,
Yeah.
not the.
I could also see the tech boosting, but
But that sounds more like what a mechanic would be capable of, or a technomancer,
yeah, I could see techno.
even though that's not their.
I would also think there maybe be more offensive with that kind of with their tech magic though, but
Yeah,
you never know. We'll have to see.
yeah. Well, I mean, chances are they'll be mostly offensive, but they might have a couple support spells
Yeah, well,
or abilities.
yep. Well, the envoy would actually have.
I think the envoy will just have class features, not spells.
That's a very high possibility.
Of course, I don't really know how they determine what qualifies as a spell and what qualifies as a feature. So
Well, spells are class features, so for certain classes.
right. Well, that's what I meant was simply that it depends on what qualifies as being quote spell worthy.
They may
In
not get
Pathfinder.
spells, but they'll still get the bard-like abilities of like boosting allies.
Yeah.
If it's not through song, then it's through something else, inspiration or leadership, maybe stances or tactics.
Well,
whatever.
it could be somewhat like the not warden, somewhat like the warlord in 4E, where you could basically use allies by giving them additional actions during your turn.
Possibly. Basically, be effective in combat by basically being another turn for your more powerful characters, which
Yeah.
in turn would be super powerful.
Well, that is really strong, actually. Giving an ally an extra turn.
Yeah.
Well, for example, the warlord in 4E could like most of his abilities allowed an ally to also like make a basic attack against something they were next to, or if he hit an enemy beside of them, they could make a basic attack against them, sort of things. So that's more so what I mean, because they're not usually going to give you something that's totally broken. But I mean, a warlord and a barbarian, for example, were super strong together because the barbarian had ridiculous basic attacks.
Yeah.
And the warlord could just constantly give the barbarian extra attacks.
I hope it's more than the bard does in 5e.
Yeah.
Doesn't the bard songs give you some?
I was seriously trying to make like a support bard with Sam, and it's just like, this is not interesting.
Did you cast haste?
I had only just gotten to haste, and haste is like a thing. I wanted a little more variety than just haste.
Well, haste is all you need to do. That and
We were also.
But that's not fun.
Yeah, we were also at that level where like there wasn't really enough time in combat to feel like you could do anything as a support.
my job was like, Randy kills everything immediately. Stab him with a rapier once, or shoot my crossbow at it.
Yeah, or run into the middle of them and cast a knockback.
Yeah, exactly. That's like that was like the extent of what I could do.
All spellcasters were nerfed, so. Yeah, all spellcasters were nerfed, so you could probably do less.
I want Bard to do more though.
Because in Pathfinder you can cast illusions and crap too.
That'd be cool.
I think you can. And you also have sonic spells that do damage. Did you get those Fascinate songs?
What? I honestly.
Fascinate. As a bard, you can usually fascinate using your songs.
Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about, but it's been months since I've last played the Bard, so.
Bards are actually awesome.
I mean,
I think it was just 5e.
Yeah, I was about to say in 5e we didn't really get very far enough to see what all a bard could actually do. But since you've changed over, it's sort of fun, you know, with the whole, all right, I'm gonna blow everything up on my first turn, and then hope that whoever follows up can beat the crap out of everything.
Bards are more like crowd control and buffers.
Yeah, see, that doesn't really make sense to me. I think a bard would be buffy, not crowd control-y.
They do both. They buff through their songs and then use spells to crowd control. Because the song just keeps going as long as you're singing it, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh wow! They get a saber die spell, or a saber die at level 20. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't actually know what a range increment is. So I think you have range, like whatever it says under the range. I think that is one range increment.
Yes.
So like, if something has a maximum range of 10 range increments, it's 10 times whatever the range that's written is the quote max range. But you lose the touch AC factors when you go above certain range increments. So once you go above the first 5. Yeah. Okay, if it's above the first range increment in an early firearm, if it's over 5 range increments in an advanced one.
Oh, so if you're in range, then you're always gonna get it.
Yeah, if you're in that range, you're guaranteed it. But
Range increments is when you start taking penalties. So after a -5 or -6, after a -8, and then you'll start to get. Then you won't get it.
Uh, 12.
Alright, I get it. What's the range on the pistol?
the range on the pistol, I believe, is 20 feet.
It's 20 feet. That's
Yeah.
the maximum range.
No, that's the range increment.
Or is that meters?
The maximum range is 100 feet. Because it's an early firearm, so 5 times the range increment is its max range.
Meters or feet?
Feet.
Yeah, its range is 20 feet, so as long as it doesn't go over 100, you won't. As long as it's within 100, then you'll get the touch AC.
No, because it's an early firearm, it has to be within the 20 feet. Its max
Notice that?
range is 100. So for early, I believe it has to be in the first range increment, so it has to be within the.
Oh, in the first range increment? Okay.
Yeah, for early weapons. For advanced weapons, it has to be in the first 5. And they have a max range of 10 range increments. So a revolver, being the advanced equivalent of a pistol, would get the touch AC for the first 100 feet. And it would shoot up to 200 feet as its max range, but only has the touch AC bonus.
You're never gonna hit anything, though.
Do what?
You won't hit anything, though.
I know, right?
It's same thing with bows. I mean, you can shoot.
Good luck rolling that 20 when you're going for a 200-foot shot.
Oh, look at Sam.
Well, you can do it as a gunslinger.
What are you doing here? You're dead.
I come back.
I need to roll to attack Sam.
All right, you can roll.
I'm a ghost. It's fine.
Wait, I'm gonna speak with Dead. Can we talk to Sam now?
I don't know you. Go away.
Randy's here. Would you like to speak to him?
Who?
Randy Ravage,
Oh,
the
that
Lord
guy.
of Death.
Hey, we were friendly in the end,
You're right. We were.
even though that involved you letting me cut your hand off.
I'm pretty sure I was more friendly with you even though.
I was the only person trying to solve your problem for you.
Right.
I just had ridiculous solutions that you decided were worth it since nothing else was.
Pretty much. It's like going to like like fake medicine places.
Yeah.
Like nothing else. Like I don't trust real medicine anymore.
Ah, yes. Well, I believe the solution is amputation. It's an Eastern thing.
They used to do this all the time, and it always worked. People didn't die half the time, and it's not like the success rate was only 5%.
Let me stab you with needles, and we'll call it acupuncture.
Couldn't you just
Native
ask the
Americans
cleric?
used to do this all the time, and how'd that work for them?
Why
Makes
didn't you
it
just
sound
ask the cleric to heal you?
We call this the foreign blanket treatment. It it worked with the Indians. It'll work with you.
Oh gosh.
It's not real.
nothing's real anymore. So what about that new game? By new, I mean the one that came out a week ago. Talk about because it came out the day after we talked.
What are you
What?
talking about?
What game is this?
Game of Thrones episode that came out on last Sunday.
Oh,
I mean,
Game
I
of
still haven't
Thrones.
watched anything from this season, but
Yeah, I haven't either.
Good. All really good.
good.
I need to get
And
back to watching.
And I need people to talk to this about.
I need to get back to watching Star Wars Rebels.
Star Wars what?
Rebels, the cartoon series.
Oh. Isn't that like really good or something?
Yeah, it is, and they actually had their cargo ship in the last movie. I mean, people were speculating as to whether that was actually the Ghost and what part they actually played in this. Well, I guess it wasn't the last movie; it was the in-between movie. The one where people got the information about the Death Star off to a certain Corvette and everybody died.
Yep.
Yeah, in that one, and it was speculated as to what exactly happened to the ship. And so the question is, where does the movie take place during the timeline with the TV series? Like, is it after the TV series is over? Is it during the current season?
Star Wars Rebels? Doesn't that take during or before the
During the rebellion.
Yeah, during the rebellion, but before Luke, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It takes place shortly before A New Hope, which is actually, the one new movie ended right as the beginning of A New Hope.
Yeah, the Rogue One was a prequel to A New Hope.
Yeah, and the Ghost was the freighter that is in Star Wars Rebels, and it showed up in that battle.
There was a ghost?
The Ghost is the name of the ship.
Oh, the ghost is his ship. Okay.
Actually, that's what I posted earlier. Let me here.
Wait, didn't they all die?
No, a bunch of them escaped. But one of the questions is, who all of all the various different characters, who all was on the ship during that battle? Was it only the captain? Was it, or I guess, I'm trying to remember. She has a promotion in the. Okay, a number of different things occurred in the movie. Over the speakers, as they're walking around and stuff, they call her. they're trying to get her attention over the speakers or whatever, and they give her rank, which is higher than it is in the TV show. He's not an R2 unit, but he's very similar to an R2 unit. Is actually shows up in the movie as well.
Did they make it out of that battle? Because everyone kind of died in that battle.
There were a number of ships that escaped.
I mean, the main ship died.
Well, if they left it unclear enough that you don't know what all ships escaped, then it could have been one of them. But or you've gotten a spoiler for the end of the series.
Yeah, well, that's one of the questions: is who all is aboard the ship during that battle? Because, let's see, I'm trying to think. You have 2 Force users that are on that ship, and wouldn't that have caused issues during the battle? I don't remember.
It could be just a ship that looks like it, to make a nod.
That would just be kind of, and if they were showing it off like it was this certain ship, then that you can't just be like, oh, it wasn't actually that ship. It just looked like that ship.
Well, it could be the same ship. It's just a
They'd
nod
have
to it.
Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, here we go.
Well, if they use the same name as one of the characters, it sort of leads you to.
Yeah, did they use the same name?
For which?
For the ship.
For the ship, they never say what the ship is. You just see the ship in the group of ships that are there. However, let's see. I'm trying to.
Well, it says something about General Syndulla.
Yes.
The Syndulla character in the.
On the PA, and you also see Chopper, which is the R unit.
Yeah, so that makes it really hard to deny that it's them. It's
Is it the same crew?
Well, that's the thing, is that we only know of those 2 people from the show in the movie. We don't know about anybody else being on the ship at the time.
So it's only confirmed that it's Syndulla and Chopper.
Most likely,
those are the only 2 confirmed.
But then that means, where is everybody else? What is everybody else doing? Are they on some other side mission somewhere else?
Maybe they're on a different ship. Something happens.
Well, considering Ahsoka, is that her name from the Star Wars Clone Wars?
Okay.
Yeah, Ahsoka is.
Yeah, she's in Star Wars Rebels as well. Wow.
Isn't she in Star Wars Rebels too?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, but apparently my mic got cut off. She was in she is in Star Wars Rebels, and actually she's the head person, I think, for the rebellion stuff.
Apparently, when they were talking about what to do, so this is them talking to Matt Marlin. I don't know who he is in terms of I don't know if he was a writer or a producer, but they were asking him about it. Oh wait, this is the link that you sent. Have you read it?
No, that was just the first one that I had found that had something to do with the links between the movie and the TV show. It does have some of the pictures that I was talking about, though.
So this was they actually talked to one of the story group members of Rogue One, and he said that they were intentionally mindful of not spoiling Rebels, since its story is actually set before Rogue One.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rebels, they're still fighting all the way till the third movie, so they still got a long way to go.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that Star Wars Rebels goes through to the end of Return of the Jedi.
And it probably will. Well, or it might end in about the same area as Rogue One.
Yeah, it could end at Rogue One too, so.
At the least, it's certain that
Or at
he
least
will eventually be General Syndulla.
Yeah, it could be that the band ends up breaking up and whatever. Because the kid seems like he's maybe possibly going dark, but maybe not.
Apparently, the Hammerhead corvettes that were, quote, responsible for them being victorious in the big objective of the final act of the film is thanks to the Ghost crew.
Yeah. Actually, I was reading up on something and they said, let's see, what was that particular one? Maybe not in this set. One of the things I was looking at somewhere was saying that the Star Wars Rebels is bringing a lot of stuff from, what are they calling it? The greater Star Wars universe that came from the books and the games and
The
everything
expanded
else.
universe?
Yes, the expanded universe.
The stuff that doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah, the stuff that doesn't exist anymore. Rebels is saying, okay, we like this thing, so we're pulling it in. We like that thing, so we're pulling it in.
Yeah, they have to be really cautious with the expanded universe stuff. I don't know if Disney got the rights to that or not.
They killed the expanded universe. That's why everyone didn't like it.
Well, they may not have gotten the rights to it because Lucas gave those rights to his wife in a divorce. And then he sold what rights he had to Star Wars to Disney. So Disney might just not have the rights to it.
Is that why they made them non-canon?
That's probably why they made it non-canon, because they can't do anything with it. I'm not 100% certain if they didn't buy the rights from her as well and then declare them non-canon. But if she has the rights and didn't sell them to them, then they don't really have much of a choice there.
Oh, here we go. And that actually has the what is it? The hammerheads is one of the first things that they point out.
I'm okay with them making the Old Republic canon as long as they don't make the Old Republic the MMO canon, because they screwed that one up pretty bad in terms of the Revan storyline.
Yeah, about the Revan storyline.
Because the Revan storyline is beautiful up until they put it in.
They put him in stasis for like 60 years.
The Old Republic story.
Wait, how long was he in a stasis for?
I don't know. I'm bothered by the fact that they even put him in, because that automatically like gender locks him, and Revan should just not exist, basically, beyond the first two games.
Well, this Jedi Exile is supposed to be a chick, so.
Right. So it's very.
Wait, she's in there too. The Exile's in there too.
The only thing that I think I liked about or enjoyed about the the MMO was the fact that it made me really, really hate Alderaan. And
It was so big.
What the MMO mostly did for me was make me really, really hate EA. But
What's new?
I know, right? No, I thought the MMO was fantastic. Actually, I think they could have released it as a console game and just not even done the MMO part, and it still would have been great.
If it was a single player game, it would have been
It-
amazing.
It really was. Like, now, I mean, I did love like being able to like play with other people in my storyline, because like my brother did the Inquisitor and I did the
Co-op. That's
the
what it could
warrior one.
yeah,
be. Couch co-op.
We were on the Sith side. Is it Marauder? I think Marauder is what I was.
I love my Sith Inquisitor. And the fact
And
that
I
I
had-
could go light side with it.
Yeah, I had finished the Marauder storyline, so I was a Darth. And he was on his like final quest where the opposing Inquisitor sends a Darth against you, and he couldn't handle the fight on his own at the time, so he had me join in. So it was like he was sending a Darth to fight the other Inquisitor's Darth.
That's kind of hilarious.
I just wish they would make another one already.
Mm.
Another KOTOR. KOTOR 3. We need it.
No, you don't. Disney's terrible at games.
Disney's
It's
not
true.
making it.
Well, LucasArts is practically dead. So
It used to be.
unless you're hoping EA makes a KOTOR game,
Well, the only people who can make it is EA.
Unless Disney steals those rights again.
see, all
EA
they
bought
need to
the
do
rights.
if they at least steal the people who did the original Dragon Age to do a KOTOR game, then maybe.
Is that Obsidian or is that that's BioWare?
That's BioWare. Yeah.
The old people in BioWare who left.
Not the people who did the most recent Mass Effect game.
Yes, not those people.
Correct.
People who are making Anthem.
Those
Not the people who are
bad.
still learning how to animate things.
Yeah.
The people
Why
who
is-
are making Anthem right now.
Is the new Mass Effect just absolutely horrid?
Yes.
It's not absolutely horrid. It's just the gameplay is good. Everything else falls apart though.
Yeah, it is almost like going back in time. Like decent game, but like major steps back in terms of like appearance quality.
In terms of everything.
And storytelling?
Maybe not gameplay.
In
But-
terms of immersion and storytelling, it's like a 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Wow, and that
Or
was
even
probably the
like
only
the-
thing they had going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an RPG.
Mass Effect 2 had pretty good like gameplay stuff. And like
They had a
fighting
good balance.
Mass Effect 1 was great until you knew how to game the system, and then it was super, super easy. But other than that, I don't know. I loved Mass Effect 1.
I like 1. You played a soldier, you just shot everything, killed everything in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. The soldier was the one you could most easily game the system on. All you had to do was like constantly spec out your precision so that you just could hold down an assault rifle and it always hit within the same like little itty bitty area. So obliterate everything.
Yeah, well, they're making Anthem right now, so. And Anthem looks alright. I think they should make another freaking KOTOR 3. It would sell a lot.
would. I'd probably buy it because the only thing that holds me back from ever doing anything in the original KOTOR is that it's just dated.
But it runs on the D&D system.
Yeah, the D&D system on computers just doesn't work that well.
It works awesome. The only thing about the first KOTOR is range weapons suck balls.
That's always the issue, is games.
Not in the second one.
They have to make the melee weapons good enough. They have to use the melee. They have to make the melee weapons good enough to use over the ranged weapons.
Yeah, but they fixed that problem in part 2. They had modifications that increased damage.
Yeah, but part 2 was just a continuation of the first one, wasn't it?
Yes, and it was made by Obsidian.
Yeah, I know.
And I hope Obsidian makes
is
the
a
third one.
great company.
And they should call Obsidian to make the third game.
I agree. Obsidian's just
And the next Fallout.
Yeah. So, like, generally my opinion is Bethesda with Fallout should make, like, the first iteration every time. So, like, 3 and 4.
and then
Just to
call
set
it
up the
Obsidian.
system and then give it to Obsidian to make a good game.
Yeah, Obsidian's really good at everything besides the mechanics, I would say.
That's because I'm pretty sure all the old people from BioWare made Obsidian.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was about to say the same thing. Like, I'm pretty sure old BioWare is Obsidian.
Anyway, I think I found an image that captures 2 of the classes. I don't know if you looked at it yet.
That's great.
That's great. I'm gonna have to bring that up here.
I love that movie. All right. We've all agreed. We're genocidal pirates in Starfinder, right?
Whoa. Genocidal.
I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't be. That's what
Except
we're going to
for the
end up
fact that we
being.
should-
We're gonna
Why
end up
shouldn't
being
we be?
orcs.
We're gonna be
Why?
orcs.
I don't know
Imperial capitalist pirates that are also genocidal.
Imperial capitalists? What? That makes no sense.
Yes, it does. Trust me on this. If you combine the two, you constantly conquer the market capitalistically.
Oh, that's right. Obsidian is making a Pathfinder game.
Really?
Yeah,
That's actually like sweet.
they're making a game based on Pathfinder.
I actually kind of love that, and I can't wait for that now. Obsidian doesn't fuck up those D&D style games.
No,
And
they
by
don't.
D&D, I mean pen and paper style. Playing Rocket League while